Faith, like a mustard seed, is small in its beginnings but mighty in its impact. Jesus often spoke in parables to teach profound spiritual truths, and one of the most remarkable examples was his teaching on the mustard seed, a lesson that found perfect expression in the unwavering belief of a man who sought healing for his dying daughter. In a certain town, there lived a man named Elias. He was known among his people for his diligence, his integrity, and his love for his family. But despite all his virtues, he found himself in a situation beyond his control. His beloved daughter lay sick, her frail body growing weaker with each passing hour. Physicians had tried their remedies, and neighbors had come with well wishes and herbs, but nothing changed. Her breath was shallow, her eyes dim, and despair loomed over the household like a gathering storm. Elias had heard of Jesus of Nazareth, the healer, the teacher, the one who spoke of a kingdom not built with human hands. He had listened to the stories of blind men seeing, lepers cleansed, and the possessed delivered from torment. Something stirred within him, a hope, a belief, a faith no larger than a mustard seed. And yet, Jesus himself had said that faith, as small as a mustard seed, could move mountains. Determined, Elias left his home and sought the teacher. He pressed through the crowds that always surrounded Jesus, men and women desperate for healing, for wisdom, for a touch of the divine. When he finally reached him, his heart pounded with urgency. Falling to his knees, he pleaded, "Master, my daughter is ill, near death. I know that you can heal her." Jesus looked upon him with compassion and said, "Take me to her." But Elias, though desperate, was a man of faith. He had heard that Jesus had healed, with just a word, had calmed the storm with a command, had cast out demons by his authority alone. "Lord," he said, "I am not worthy to trouble you to come to my house. Only say the word, and I know she will be healed." A hush fell upon those who stood nearby. Some murmured in disbelief. Who was this man to deny Jesus' presence in his home? Others watched in wonder, sensing something extraordinary. Jesus' eyes lit up with deep joy, and he turned to the crowd. "Truly I tell you, I have not found such great faith, even in Israel." Then, looking back at Elias, he said, "Go, your faith has made her well." Elias bowed low in gratitude, his heart filled with a peace he could not explain. As he turned and made his way back home, his steps were light, his burden lifted. Faith had replaced fear. When he arrived, he found his house alive with shouts of joy. His daughter, who had lain motionless in her bed, was now sitting up, her eyes bright, her cheeks flushed with health. The moment Jesus had spoken the words, the fever had left her, and she was restored. The town marveled. Some came to Elias to ask how it had happened. Others wondered if it was mere coincidence. But those who heard Jesus' words that day understood the truth. Faith, no matter how small, when placed in the one who holds all power, brings forth miracles. Jesus had once compared the kingdom of God to a mustard seed. Though it was the smallest of all seeds, when planted, it grew into the greatest of trees, with branches large enough for birds to nest in its shade. Elias' faith had been small at first, just a belief that if Jesus was truly the Son of God, he could heal his daughter. But that small faith, unwavering and pure, became a great testimony to the power of trusting in God. The story of Elias and his daughter spread far and wide. People who doubted began to believe. Those with heavy hearts found encouragement. And in that town, the lesson of the mustard seed lived on, growing in the hearts of all who heard it, bearing fruit for generations to come. Faith does not always require sight, nor does it demand proof. It only asks that we trust, even when all else seems lost. Just as a mustard seed grows beyond expectation, so does the faith of one who believes in the word of the Lord.